Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson, 01 X-Force, and this is my DC comic pull list for the week of May 11th, 2011. Today is the 13th, and I picked them up yesterday on the 12th. First up is a brand new limited series out by DC. I usually do not like previews of my comics, but I did like the preview of this in comics I've been reading for DC. So it made me want to pick it up, the first issue, and see if I liked it. Now I did glance through this really quickly, and I do like the artwork, and I am interested in the story. So I haven't read it yet, but I will try and do a review of this one. So those of you who played the first game, Arkham Asylum, this is the prequel to the newest game, Batman Arkham City. Now, those of you who got, I believe it's the Game of the Year edition for Batman Arkham Asylum, it came with a comic book, and that comic book was like a prequel of what happened to set up the game. Like right before the game starts, this is what happened in the comic. So now they're kind of one-upping that. Now they're having an actual 5 limited series, 5-issue limited series of the prequel, what happens right after the first game and right before the second game. In fact, this comic starts off right away with the ending of the first game, fighting the large monstrous, or the ending of the fight of the large monstrous Joker. Now, I'm a big fan of different types of artwork for Batman. And one of my favorites is like the artwork going on right now in Detective Comics, and that's like a very gritty, dark style. This is more of your classic comic Batman style. I really enjoy this type of style, and you don't see it all the time with Batman these days. This is more of a classic type look. At the same time, they've kept it updated. So like, for instance, those of you who are up to date with the differences in the different costumes, there's a distinctive Batman Bruce Wayne costume that he uses right now with all of his comics, Dark Knight and Batman Incorporated. And of course, Dick Grayson, who's the Gotham City Batman, he has a very different costume with his Batman series, and currently he's the Batman in the Detective Comics. So right away, if you know the difference, you can look at the cover and you can see that this is Bruce Wayne, who of course stars in the in both games. And also, this is one of those comics. Now, DC is a lot better than this than Marvel is, but this is one of those comics when you look at the artwork on the cover, and that's exactly the artwork that's inside the comic. And I do appreciate that. I mean, I love a beautiful cover, but me being a comic veteran, I know not to expect that. But a lot of people, they see artwork on the cover and they open it up, or they buy it, they go home, open it up, and they don't like the artwork inside. They don't understand that the cover is done by somebody, and there's a penciler, there's a writer, and there's inkers. So it was nice to see that this artwork on the cover, which is nice, very nice, is the standard inside the comic. And again, I glanced through it, but what I saw, I did like. It seems like a real short kind of kind of setting you up for the other 4, but I'm looking forward to it, and I hope it's as good as it can be. Next up is Red Robin, number 23. Now, I am trying to make some cuts. I get a lot of comics per month, and I decided I need to keep the cream of the crop and cut away comics that I do enjoy, but maybe not as much as others. Try and slim it down for a while. And that's pretty tough for me because I got it pretty slim for what I was reading before, but still it's a little too fat for right now. But Red Robin is one that I love. Tim Drake. He's one of my favorite characters. So it's hard for me to think, okay, I drop Red Robin, because even though It's a hit or a miss, and sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's just okay, and you really can't tell which way it's gonna go because it changes up pretty quickly. I love the characters so much. This is one that I really feel I will hold on to. I think it's gonna be a lot harder for me to make any cuts in my DC monthly comics than it will be in Marvel. So I'm trying to figure that out. So maybe if you guys can say, hey, you know what, I read this and I think maybe this is a better comic, you know, let me know what you guys are reading. Next up is Birds of Prey, number 12. This is probably one of the DC comics I am thinking about cutting. It's been very good, don't get me wrong, but I also read Batgirl, and Batgirl is one of my favorite DC comics. And I'm thinking these are great to read together because of their connection with Oracle. And I have to say, Birds of Prey has been getting a lot better. So I'm not ready to let it go yet, but I am going to read this, and this might determine for me if I continue Birds of Prey or not. I love all the characters in Birds of Prey. So next up is one I will definitely keep, and that is Batman Incorporated, number 6. It looks like by the cover that we're starting to come together and come to realize what it is Batman's been trying to do by traveling the world and getting together his new global crime fighting team. And it's pretty cool. I very much, like probably most of you, really enjoy the Batman Incorporated. My only gripe, which is kind of a plus as well, is you can look at the cover here. I understand what Grant Morrison is doing. He's trying to really give a variety of different characters in Bruce Wayne's global bat team, Batman Incorporated. Now, I think because of the writing and you really get to see the characters, it's working. But if some of the design choices and some of the characters, not really loving it. That might change the more I read about these characters. Like, I don't really like his design, or I'm definitely not really a big fan of his design. Or back here, the Native American, though I do think it's cool they have Native American on the team. But I understand, like, you know he's going to have, Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne. He's going to have Catwoman. He's going to have, Stephanie Brown, Batgirl. He's going to have Batwoman. So, those people, are going to be on teams. So it's like, hey, you know what? Let's mix it up. Let's make some very different characters. I get that. I just hope that it all works. So, if this is as good as I heard it was, great. Looking forward to reading that. And last but not least, for my DC, is one of my favorite ongoing comics, and that's Batgirl. This is number 21. What's kind of cool about Batgirl, as well as Red Robin, is that a lot of times you have a story arc, but then a lot of times you have a one-shot. And unlike a lot of other comics, which the one-shot is a filler, that a lot of times you'll read it and you'll be like, why did I read this? I did not need this. I wish you would have skipped this and just like give me the next arc. Batgirl especially does their one-shots are quite good. They're either really fun, but they throw in some extra characters like the one she did with Supergirl. That was like really fun, and it was a one-shot type deal. So they're consistently, the team here is consistently great. I would say it's one of the better Bat books. I would say the best Bat books are Detective Comics, Batman Incorporated, and Batgirl. Now, Red Robin is very good too, but they're more hit and miss than Batgirl is. So those are my DC pull lists for this week. I, of course, am also going to be posting my Marvel pick polls. So again, if you're reading any of these comics and you have any suggestions of which ones you think are going to continue to be good, or ones you think maybe are going to become weaker in the future, let me know, because I am making my choices. But please let me know what comics you're reading, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.